Well, hello everyone. Here I am again for your Thursday and Friday lesson, and your Thursday and Friday lesson are related to Benjamin Franklin. So, Mr. Shearsmith should have passed you out your packets. Please make sure that your first name, last name, period, and date are on the packet right now. I'm going to give you a moment to prepare. You should have a pen or a pencil. If you have a highlighter, that will also help. I'm just giving you a moment. Okay, hopefully you all have your packets now and you're all prepared. So today you're looking at the speech in the convention by Benjamin Franklin. And once again, we are looking at arguments related to, in this time, the Constitution. So give me 1 second. I'm just pulling up on my screen what I need to pull up on my screen. It's slow, this scrolling on this. Okay, so the first thing that I want to bring to your attention is Ben Franklin uses aphorisms, and he was known for his aphorisms. They're these little witty figurative sayings that have a kernel of truth in them. And most of you have heard at least one of Ben Franklin's aphorisms, although I'm sure you didn't attribute it to Ben Franklin. And that aphorism is, "Three can keep a secret if two of them are dead." And I'm pausing a minute because I know you're shouting out what it is and what TV show it's from right now, and you would be correct that it's Pretty Little Liars. So these little statements that he had, that they would list that were very popular in the 1700s, they held a kernel of truth in them. So three can keep a secret if two of them are dead. Once again, witty, figurative, smart, quick to the point. It means that if you want to keep a secret, don't tell anybody. That once you tell somebody, it has the chance of being, let out. So if you really want to keep a secret, don't tell anybody. Ben Franklin has a bunch of these. We're going to hear another one when we go back to John Adams again, where Ben Franklin actually says to John Adams when he's in Philadelphia, he says, go gently, go gently. Fish and visitors stink in 3 days," meaning that John Adams is a guest in Philadelphia, and he's kind of overstayed his welcome with the Continental Congress, and that he shouldn't be so hard on people, and he should find a way to bring everybody together. So you're going to see that Ben Franklin may be using some of these aphorisms within his writing. The other thing that I want you to do is, as you are reading through it, make sure that you pay attention to the way Franklin builds arguments to persuade detractors to support the Constitution despite their reservations. And remember, Franklin had reservations about the Constitution too, and you're going to see that. But then you're going to see, the cool thing about it is it's like, it's a great argumentative tactic, because he's saying, I know, it's an imperfect thing, but it's the best we have, so let's figure out a way to support it. That's a great argumentative tactic when you're trying to get people to do things you want. Sometimes teachers use it. I know, people, I hate that we have to do all of this testing too, but it's required by the district. In that way, it makes the district, our opposition, and it makes me and you guys a team against them. And so we do it begrudgingly, but we do it. So do you see how that works? So I want you to keep an eye on that when Franklin's writing. You're going to go ahead and mark passages that might help you track Franklin's main points in favor of the Constitution. We've been doing argumentative presentations and looking at that, so I want you to be able to find that in the writing. Okay. So on the first page, page 40, just go ahead and look over that concept vocabulary, and remember, mark a 1 by the word that's most familiar and a 6 by the word that's least familiar, and then fill in the rest. Just read over the first read, nonfiction, and look over the vocabulary development. And then you're going to start by reading about the author. Please don't skip that, because we're going to talk about Ben Franklin when I get back, and he's going to become very important in the John Adams video. So I want you to have some background information on it, so that when I fill in all the interesting details that I love to give you guys, it's going to make sense to you. So read over that. And notice that it says in the right-hand side next to about the author, why does Franklin start out his speech with a humorous anecdote? What value might humor have at such a serious convention? And, I use humor in the classroom all the time. Many of the teachers on campus do. Think about how it makes you feel when somebody starts with a story or starts with humor, and how that might help to convince people in a speech to, relax somehow and come together. Just look at that and see what you think his point was for that. Okay, when you get to page 43, make sure you read the background before you actually start the convention speech, okay? And then, like I said, you're going to highlight as you go. I want you to answer the questions on page 43. Question, why does Franklin choose to illustrate his point in this way? And conclude, what is the effect of this quotation? And there's enough room above those questions to go ahead and write your answers. Okay, and then you're going to get to page 44, and you're going to finish up the speech. The excerpt, as you can see, is quite short. And there's a place where it's got a video, a media connection, and then it says discuss. We're not going to discuss anything at this time. As I told you, this is an individual activity. So when you get to this video part, make sure that you plug in your own headphones to the computer, or that you borrow a pair of my headphones, and please make sure you put them back in the plastic bags. And go ahead and listen to that video. And then right underneath that box on that page, there's enough room for you to write a response. And it says, how does this video help you understand the challenges that Franklin faced in persuading the delegates to approve the Constitution? So I want you to answer that. I want you to write your response right underneath that square in that good empty space on page 44. Then please complete the comprehension questions. 1, 2, 3, 4 on the packet, in the packet, because there's enough room. And then the same thing that we did with our other packet, please take a blank piece of note paper and you're going to attach it to that packet, and you're going to answer number 5, writing the summary of Franklin's speech on that blank piece of paper that's attached to your packet. Please ignore the research section. We've already done research for our multimedia presentations. And then you're going to skip to analyze the text, just like last time on page 46, and please answer questions 1 through 5 on the notebook paper, because there's not enough room in the packet. Don't need to write the questions, just the answers as always. Okay. And then I want you on page 47 to read over, analyze, craft, and structure, and make sure you're paying attention to paradox, concession, and rhetorical questions. And then go ahead and on that chart right there, and you don't need to go into any notebook or anything. On the chart, I just want you to write your own opinion about his use of paradox and his use of rhetorical question. Just those two. Paradox and rhetorical question. Okay, and then under that practice right there on page 47, I also want you to answer question number 3. During his long political career, Franklin had extensive experience as a diplomat. In what ways does this speech reflect a diplomatic approach to conflict? Explain. Okay. Okay, and then when you get to page 48, I want you to do the concept vocabulary practice, where it says practice, not the why these words, just the practice, 1 through 6. Go ahead and do those and skip everything else on the page. I don't want you to do anything on page 49, but just review the information. And I'm going to go ahead and have you stop there. So that's all I want you to fill out. And I know you're going, all, but that's all I want you to fill out for the Pearson text. So when I get back, the pre-writing packet that you did Tuesday or Wednesday should be completed, and it should be with Mr. Strusma. Your first essay, digital essay draft of the Declaration versus the Constitution should be turned in to turnitin.com. If you did not turn it in on Tuesday or Wednesday, then you need to turn it in on Thursday or Friday, depending on what day you have me. If you have a little extra time today at the end of class, then you may rewrite, revise if you need to, and resubmit. I've made it so that Turnitin will let you resubmit, okay? But all of these things have to be done by the time I get back. And this packet needs to be completed today and turned into Mr. Strusma as well, so that we're all ready for what I'm going to be teaching you the next week. Okay, I want you guys to have a good time with Mr. Strusma, but make sure you're respectful. Phone should be put away, no gum. I've asked him to take names of people that are still disrespecting rules by second semester, so please be on task and be good for him. And I will talk to you soon, and feel free to email me if you have any questions. I'm just working on publishing the yearbook. All right, I'll see you guys later. Bye-bye.